There was once a little boy, sitting in his living room, singing cover songs with nothing but raw passion in his voice. His mother, with a cheap camera, captured those moments and uploaded them to YouTube, just so family and friends could watch. Little did they know, those shaky videos would ignite a journey from the quiet streets of Stratford, Ontario, to the biggest stages on Earth. But behind the screaming fans, the platinum records, and the headlines, was a painful story no one wanted to see. A story of fame, exploitation, broken innocence, and survival. This is the untold story of Justin Bieber. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and buckle up, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see the music industry forever. In 2007, a clip surfaces on YouTube. A boy, barely a teenager, singing with a voice that was both pure and powerful. That boy? Justin Bieber. His covers of Chris Brown, Usher, and other artists quickly gained traction. And then, fate intervened. Scooter Braun, a music manager searching for the next big star, stumbled across Justin's videos. Everyone told him he was crazy, but Scooter says, "I knew exactly what I was looking at. I had a plan." In an instant, flights were booked. Justin and his mother were flown to Atlanta, and within weeks, Usher himself signed Justin, not just as an artist, but as his protege. And soon, the world would be introduced to a song called Baby. The song exploded. Millions of views, sold-out stadiums, girls crying, fainting, screaming his name. At just 13 years old, Justin Bieber wasn't just famous. He was the biggest pop star on the planet. But here's the truth no one talks about. The faster a star rises, the more dangerous the machine behind them becomes. As Bieber's fame skyrocketed, every personal moment of his life was turned into content. His natural voice changes during puberty, mocked on talk shows, his first kiss, treated like a national event. Even on shows like Ellen, Justin was repeatedly embarrassed with childhood photos, visibly uncomfortable, but laughed off by the audience. And it didn't stop there. At award shows, he was forcefully kissed by older women live on stage. On comedy skits, his personal boundaries were crossed again and again. Imagine being 15, and your trauma becomes a punchline. But this wasn't just about the media. Behind the curtains, much darker forces lurked. Usher, Justin's mentor, once handed him over to Sean "Diddy" Combs for 48 hours. On camera, Diddy gifts Justin a Lamborghini, a gesture that looked like generosity, but was in reality a textbook grooming tactic. Expensive gifts in exchange for loyalty. Whispers spread of parties Justin attended as a child, places no 15-year-old should ever be. And yet, nobody stopped it. Not the labels, not the managers, because to them, Justin wasn't a child. He was an investment. By 2013, the pressure became unbearable. Drugs, alcohol, reckless behavior, arrests, paparazzi fights, headlines mocking his every mistake. Justin later admitted there was a point his bodyguards checked his pulse every morning, just to make sure he was still alive. He stepped away, got treatment, and then, in 2015, he came back swinging, with the album Purpose. Songs like Sorry and Love Yourself rebranded him, giving the world a glimpse of redemption. But peace didn't last long. Justin and Selena Gomez, a love story that played out in headlines for nearly a decade. From teenage sweethearts to one of the most talked about couples in the world, their relationship was passionate and toxic. Breakups, makeups, public apologies through songs. Until finally, in 2018, they called it quits. And then, just months later, Justin married Hailey Baldwin. Fans were stunned. Conspiracies swirled. Some claimed Hailey had been waiting in the wings for years. Others accused her of cutting Justin off from his old life. Whether true or not, the fan wars only intensified. But while fans obsessed over his relationships behind the scenes, the industry was bleeding him dry. Advance deals, cross-collateralization, debts that carried over from one flop album to the next. On paper, Justin had generated close to $1 billion. In reality, he was cash poor. By 2022, after canceling his Justice World Tour, he owed promoters $26 million. And in desperation, he made a shocking move. At just 28 years old, Justin Bieber sold his entire music catalog, 291 songs, for $200 million. His legacy, gone. Then came the health crisis. Half his face paralyzed, a rare neurological condition called Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. Fans thought it was temporary, but for Justin, it was life-altering. The same industry that made him a star was now feeding off his pain. In 2024, Justin quietly dropped an album titled Swag. No hype, no promo, just music. 21 tracks that felt less like an album and more like pages from his diary, raw confessions of trauma, pain, and survival. At the same time, his debts with Scooter Braun were finally settled, thanks to Hailey's billion-dollar beauty brand. For the first time in years, Justin seemed to have a chance to breathe. But make no mistake, the industry isn't done with him. Because in this business, pain sells. And Justin's pain? It's still a product. Justin Bieber's story isn't just about a boy who became a superstar. It's about how the entertainment machine takes children and spits out broken adults. So I want to ask you, after hearing this story, do you see Justin Bieber differently? Do you see the industry differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments.